guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am back with the 9th sketch of the month for 30 Days of Sketches, which is a series from Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. And I am a couple of days behind in posting, so you're going to see me playing a little bit of catch up here. But I am using this Bow Bunny Firecracker, which is an older collection paper for my background. So this kind of diagonal stripe. And I really liked the blue colors because there are blue in both of my pictures of my boys. And so I'm going to start with the sketch and I'm going to kind of take it off kilter a little bit. I'm going to go a little rogue and it's going to be okay. I promise. So there are two 4x4 photos. Mine are a little bit smaller than 4x4 in this particular sketch. And then there's a whole bunch of stripes, like strips of paper or washi or something like that are scattered behind the photo. And so I'm just flipping through some leftovers as well as a field trip paper pad, pulling out a bunch of pattern paper that I know I want to use. So I'm going with these really bright, fun colors. And I'm going to keep the embellishments very, very, very minimal. So this is going to be one of those like quick and easy 15-minute layouts, like seriously fast. All right, so I'm cutting all my strips to 1 inch, and I have, all of them are kind of different sizes because I'm using scraps. And so I'm totally good with that because in the sketch, it's the same thing. All these strips are different sizes. And so some of them I am using more than once. Some of them I am only pulling in one. I'm using some branding strips in there, all kinds of different strips. And so what I decide as I start putting the layout together is that I'm going to take this element of all these strips that are in the sketch behind the photos, and I'm going to extend that the full length of the page because I have all these really bright, fun patterns and colors that I want to use. And so I'm just going to start laying out some of those strips behind my photos. And right now I've just left them like at the full length size. So I want them to start kind of small and then get larger where my photos are and then get small again. Just like they do in the sketch, except I'm extending those strips all the way down the page. And I do have a little cut apart card that says wild and free, and I want to include that in the bottom. So now I'm just going to start gluing. And what I am doing is I am only gluing the middle section of the pattern paper strips. And so you're going to kind of see that as I go. When I am using the full size strips, some of them I go ahead and cut like that one. Some of them I'm just putting glue in the middle and gluing them down. And in this particular sketch, it's not like a solid line all the way down the page. There are some gaps in between the strips, so I'm also going to include a few little gaps. And so I'm just putting the entire 12-inch strip, if it was a 12-inch strip, but I'm only gluing the very center. Because what that's going to let me do is it's going to let me go back with a pair of scissors and trim off all of the ends because I want them to all be different lengths. I want them to be scattered down my page. And so here I can go ahead, since I haven't glued the ends, and I can just trim and make sure that I have them all kind of staggered different directions and different sizes. And I really like that look, but it is a lot easier to get it if you glue first and cut second, rather than cutting them all first and then trying to put them in the exact right places. So once I'm happy with them, then I'm going to go back and glue those ends a little bit. So I have this wild and free card that I want to include down at the bottom where kind of that journaling is in the sketch. I am not going to include a circle behind my photos. I had thought about putting a cut file circle in there, but I decided it was just too much. So there's a lot already going on with the pattern paper, so I don't need much else, and that is totally fine with me. It creates a really fun layout. It's super quick and easy, and I don't need a ton of embellishments. So I went back to this little dude chipboard, and I pulled out all of the stars. They're all different colors. They all match perfectly. There's also that little chipboard that says, "You rock." I start with that one, and I'm not going to end up with that one. I'm going to end up switching it out for one that says "Dude" instead, and that's only because of the title I want to use. So I am going to start my title above my photos, just like in the sketch. And I did put some dimensional adhesive behind my photos to kind of help them pop up and to let me tuck that title in behind. And so I'm going to say Biker Dudes across the top in the red letters. So I try out the blue and I'm like, nope, not happening. So I'm going to put Biker Dudes in the red. And these are the thickers that came with Field Trip. And then I'm going to switch to the blue. and put the word rock underneath my photos. So this is a little bit different than the sketch, but I really like how that kind of ties everything in together. And then I'm just going to play with the placement of where I have all those little chipboard stars so that they kind of follow that line down the middle of my page. But really, you guys, that's going to do it. So I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm not going to do anything complicated. I'm going to be totally happy with a quick and easy, simple layout for this particular sketch. And I actually really like the look that it creates. So sometimes when you play with a lot of bright, fun pattern paper, you really don't need to do a lot in terms of the embellishing. And it really still creates a super fun look. So hopefully you feel inspired to play along with the day 9 sketch. I am going to work fiercely on getting caught up because I am a few sketches behind, and I will see you guys again really soon. Bye, friends.